Here's a question. Can TV and film help fix America's gun violence problem? Well, some in Hollywood believe it can, and they are backing a new campaign urging the industry to take action by modeling gun safety and being mindful of on-screen gun violence. Joining me to discuss is President Kris Brown of the nation's oldest gun violence prevention group, Brady, and Grey's Anatomy star actor Jason George. Thank you both for joining me.
Well, thanks for having us.
So, Kris, let me start with you. I know guns are the #1 killer of children in America. Tell us more about this safety pledge and why it was the obvious next step in your organization's mission to promote gun safety.
Michelle, thank you so much for having us. And yes, guns are the #1 killer of our kids in America. We have a public health epidemic. And at Brady, of course, we have a history of changing the laws. We focus on better enforcement of the laws, but we actually need to change the culture of guns in America. We have more guns than people. So we took a page from Designated Driver, Secondhand Smoke, Buckle Up, and really thought how Hollywood can demonstrate the basics of safe storage and really help save lives by demonstrating, hey, it's pretty cool to lock up a gun and to have writers of shows. We've now met with over 1,000 writers of shows that people are watching every single day and have pre-production meetings about the role of firearms in the show. So this to us is extremely important and can save a huge number of lives by simply encouraging people to safely store their firearms in their home.
Such an important message. And Jason, you're lending your star power to this cause. How have you been touched by this issue?
Well, listen, I actually lost my cousin to gun violence. I've unfortunately had family members who were, in domestic abuse situations, and guns were involved. There's no one in America who you will find that isn't at least one person removed from gun violence, unfortunately. And we're trying to change that. And that's why I've been working with Brady. And they've done beautiful things with the Show Gun Safety campaign, because it's actually, we all watch film and television. It's one of my favorite things to do with my kids and my wife, and I think it's also what I do for a living. And being able to show, model for America, the America we want to live in, makes a difference. When people in TV started actually buckling their seatbelt before they started the high-speed chase, auto accident fatalities went down. When people stopped smoking as much on television and in film, the amount of people who are smoking and therefore dying from lung cancer went down. So now it doesn't cost a TV show any extra time or money to show the hero. Instead of just throwing the gun in the drawer, they throw the gun into the lockbox. Or you see them go to the biometric lockbox, put their thumb, and it opens up, looks very cool. It's very James Bond. You got it in your house, you pull your gun out, and then you go get the bad guy. But that little moment starts showing that heroes are safe with their guns, take responsibility for their guns, which all the gun owners in my life, that's how they get down. Is they know that there's a responsibility that comes with this thing. It's not a toy.
And Kris, I was reading this pledge has been around for about 3 years, if I have that right. Tell me about some of the changes that you are seeing. Jason highlighted some that he's witnessing already.
Well, as I said, we've met with over 1,000 writers' rooms, and actually Show Gun Safety has now influenced content that about 150 million Americans have watched. It's just incredible the number of shows that are taking this up. And what we found is, writers want to raise the stakes. That's what I hear all the time, Jason.
All the time. We want good TV. Good TV are big stakes.
Good TV. And, showing guns safely stored and demonstrating that reflects the reality that many gun owners, as Jason said, many of his friends growing up in Virginia, same for me, have guns, but they safely store them. And that really, really is an important part of the storytelling that we feel and know as we continue to work on this. The more shows that we have that are demonstrating safe storage, the more likely it is that individuals across America, TV and characters, are among the most influential things Americans experience, more than politicians, often more than parents. I'm a parent, I know.
Oh, yeah.
So we can demonstrate this, and that's worked before. Michelle, it's worked with Designated Driver and Secondhand Smoke and Buckle Up. Those campaigns saved huge numbers of lives. This one will too.
Right.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, as we wrap here, I know, Jason, celebrity voices often, they carry louder than others. You're speaking to an audience here in the nation's capital. What's your message to lawmakers and the White House? Because what you all are doing is obviously just one piece of what is a bigger problem that needs many solutions to actually fix it.
My message would be listen to the people. The vast majority of voters, and it's bipartisan, whether you're red or blue, Republican, conservative, Republican or Democratic, the reality is the vast majority of people support no loopholes in background checks. They support extreme risk protection orders because it just makes sense. In the military, they call them a buddy hold, where they're like, if you're in a bad space, in a bad mental space, give your guns to your buddy. Everybody supports these things, but why don't the legislators vote for it? Because they're convinced that they're more afraid of losing the money from the gun lobby than they are of losing your vote. And we need to make sure they know that our vote matters because we want you to protect kids, not guns. That's really what it comes down to. And I think Virginia is the perfect example of that. I'm born and raised in Virginia, and I still have tons of family in both the 757 and in the DMV. And I just want my nephews and my family to be safe.
Yeah. And we have a big election coming up, and that's why Abigail Spanberger on the ballot as a Virginian is so important.
Yeah.
All right.
She gets.
We'll leave it there. Jason George and Kris Brown, thank you both for joining me today. And we have more information about Brady on our website, WJLA.com. Thank you both.